Okay, to change this auger motor out, we got to turn the stove all the way back around where the back is facing you. You got to pull out all these screws along the side, along the bottom, and that towards the top. That's like a dimmer switch right there. That's to control the exhaust fan going out. This stove's got a lot of mods on it, so. Okay, now we gotta pull the back off. So I gotta be real careful on the wires I got here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start it up so you can hear what it's doing. So I gotta plug it back in. Okay, this exhaust fan right here is controlled by this dimmer right here. So I can basically almost shut it down. In fact, I can shut plumb off while I'm working. I think I will turn it off. But that's what that's for. That's so you can, instead of that thing running wide open like that, you can slow the fan down where you keep more heat in the house. I mean, just enough to pull the smoke out. At that speed right there, works fine. So this is the auger motor we're going to change out today. That's the original one. Now this fan motor over here, the main blower motor, it's been changed out just a couple months ago. So this thing right here, you gotta pull the back off. Okay, there's the noise it's making. Okay, I got switches over here on the side over here, right next to the control panel. The top one is for the auger motor, the bottom one is for the agitator. So how many times you like to turn the agitator motor off, and so you can keep your fire going, otherwise it'll turn your fire under. Okay, on this one we're not gonna change it. I'm just gonna oil the bearings. It's not near as bad today as it was. It was really bad. It's really squawking. Okay, we'll get the 8mm wrenches and we'll get the screws off the back of it. I'll first unplug this thing first. And note how your wires are connected in here. The red wire that comes over, I think it goes over the control panel, comes over, it goes on to the opposite side, over here on this side. And see how they crisscross? So I'm going to shut this camera off so I can get that motor out of there. Okay, I'm pulling this off. Okay, all the bolts are not too hard to get to, except for that one that's still in there. That one was a pain to get to. Okay, on this auger motor, that's what the actual auger connects to. So on this motor, we're not gonna swap it out. We're just gonna grease the bearings. Okay, the first thing I did was fire up the compressor. Got this thing all blowed off real good. Looks a whole lot better, but it's still got a little grease on it. So I think it'll be okay. Main thing is get it cleaned up a little bit. So your main bearings are going to be, we're going to take the case apart and everything, and we're going to break this case open. We're going to make sure we got it all greased up good. Your main bearings that's making a squawking noise is the ones right in behind this fan right here, and the one right in behind here. It's basically on the motor. So we're gonna find a size that'll fit this. This is your Torx. See, this is a T20 right here. On that right there. So we're gonna take that apart. Now I'm gonna try to save this motor. I've saved them before, the auger motor, and I did get it to working a whole lot better. But even on that one, I did wind up buying a new one whenever I replaced the main blower motor, because I got a good deal on it. I got it for $49, free shipping. But this in here, I believe it's 4 rounds a minute. And if you're looking at towards the shaft right here, it's clockwise. This one's got to be clockwise. A lot of them are counterclockwise. So I don't know if that made it more expensive or not. But anyway, keep that in mind. You don't want your auger going the wrong direction, or it's not going to work. Knowing my luck, I'd get one that going the wrong direction. Yeah, you can tear these motors plumb down. I mean, in fact, that's what we're going to do. Pull that out of there. That's your armature. And your first bearing is going to be, I don't know how hard it's going to be to pull that fan blade off there. I guess we'll just try to pull it off of there. That was easy. Pull that off of there. Just put a little grease in there. Oh, that looks good. Okay, now we're gonna get another size here, I believe. I think it's a small one. That one right there. I'm gonna split it completely. Pull this coil and stuff off of here. I mean, the way I look at stuff, if it's broke, not working, you can't hurt it. That's for sure. Only thing you could do is make it better. So don't be afraid to tear into it, because if you don't fix it, you're gonna be winding up junking it anyway. So why not try to recycle it if you can? I mean, even if this lasts, you know, a few more years, it's good. I mean, the motor itself still works. So why not try to save it? Okay, down in your next bearing will be down in there. This is quite a bit different than the one I had. Now we got that motor off of there. Now we're going to split this case open. And we're going to check that out. See, that's another different size. We just want to make sure everything is greased. We don't want to put it all back together and have to tear it down again. So I imagine this is probably going to have grease in it. So we're just going to, let's see here. This is going to have some grease in it, so what we're going to have to do is just move it around. And we'll add some if we have to. We'll split this case open. Yeah, these things are supposed to be really quiet. You can't even hardly hear them. Even the new motors that you buy, the one I was going to buy for $99 and $7 tax, I was going to give $99, but I didn't want to give the $7 tax. So I said, no, I'm just going to fix it myself. Actually, I need this thing tonight. This is still the middle of March, and it's going to still gets cold at night. So we got to have it tonight. So actually, the sooner the better. Oh, there we go. See all the grease that's in there? So what we'll do, we'll just take that grease and we'll just move it around. Make sure everything gets coated good. Same thing on this side. Put it up there on your gears. So now when you go back together with it, you got to make sure that gear gets on that shaft right there. This gear gets on that shaft right there. So that's what you got to keep in mind, because it's just sitting there floating. Okay, you see it? It's on there. Turn that. Okay, that's all back together. Find me a rag here. Okay, we'll get this gear case all back together. That'll be good. Okay, I should have left this open until I got completely done with it, because now we're going to get ready to grease the bearings on the motor, and now I don't have no grease. So that's all back together. Move that over to the side. We'll have to go get some, I think I got some wheel bearing grease. I'm not sure if that's actually a bearing or just a bushing in there. Kind of hard to tell. If it's just a bushing, just put a little grease on the end of it. And yeah, we'll clean that shaft up real good. Get all that junk off of it. It's got a few little scars on it. Okay, you got that one. And you got that one right there. I bet them are just sleeves. No bearing there. See, that goes down in there. And it turns it going this way. This way it just... Yes, it turns it going this way. Okay, I guess we're just going to grease it. Grease them shafts. That's Valvoline wheel bearing grease. That's what we're going to use. Get you. Won't take much. Put it on them shafts. Okay, now we got to get that motor back on now. Now we can work on that a little bit more. Go up on that some more. So get some more of that crud off of there. Well, we got this thing open. It ain't gonna look like brand new, but it'll look a whole lot better than it was. It's so bad you couldn't even read these numbers on here. Okay, see, it's got the little raised areas there. We just slip it on top of it, and that way it don't move. So now we'll get these screws back in there. Yep, it's a whole lot cheaper doing it this way. You can, if you got the time, and I got plenty of time, just take it all apart and see what needs to be greased. Like I say, if it's broke, you ain't gonna hurt it, that's for sure. Okay, that's good and tight. It don't have to be real tight. Okay, now our next set. Armature goes back in. I believe this is the main one that's squawking, so we're gonna stick some grease right down in this hole here. Yeah, just grease it as good as you can. Now, get these two screws on there. You just want to snug them a little bit. Okay, there's the motor all back together. I just got to put the fan motor on there, or the fan blade on there. We'll clean these blades off a little bit. You see, dirt and stuff can build up on these and actually throw these things off of balance. That's what happens with your exhaust fan. It will get so much soot and stuff on there, it will throw it out of balance. And you gotta, I've had to clean it probably 2 or 3 times. This stove is around a 2008 model. So I've had it, what, for 14 years or so. Yeah, this kind of stuff like here, this stuff like this, it's best just to go ahead and clean it up as good as you can. And it'll be ready to go for a while. So I might not have no more trouble out of this thing for a few more years. Let's stick that fan motor on top. And this is all done. Now what we're going to do, we're going to plug this thing back in, and we're going to make sure that thing is good and quiet before we button it all back up. So we'll go hook this thing back up and we'll see what it's going to do. Okay, you're going to turn this back on. Now we got to wait for the 2 or 3 minutes for this thing to kick back on. So hear what this thing sounds like when it first starts up. I just got it laying down here. Wires connected, ready to go. There you go. Nice and quiet. You can hear that's the agitator motor. It's nice and quiet. And see, you did all that work, but you didn't even take an hour. And saved the motor and saved $100. So now I'll turn this thing off and I'll get that motor back in, and then we'll try it again. Then we'll try it again with the stove running. So I gotta get this thing unplugged and get this thing back together. Everything sounds really good. Okay, I got the motor installed. Gonna try it one more time before we put the back on it. Then next time we'll fire it up. Build a fire and check it out again. Okay, this is the last test before we put the back on. Everything sounds good. It's all installed, and so it's actually auger and pellets and corn. So it's just filling my burn pot up. So I gotta get this thing unplugged. Okay, all back together, all up and running. Everything's all back to normal. So that's how you save $100. So thanks for watching.